Welcome to Science and Technology Briefing. The content of the briefing includes the shadowy network smuggling European microchips into Russia, the fraught politics of the office whip round, tech startups race to make EV battery recycling sustainable, frank Taiwan talks at Xi-Biden summit will go long way to ease ties, ex-US envoy, Alibaba, JD.com post Singles Day sales growth but withhold sales tally, the shadowy network smuggling European microchips into Russia, Financial Times. A network used by Russian intelligence to smuggle Western technology to Russia's military has been exposed in a recent investigation by the Financial Times. The operation was led by Maxim Ermakov, a businessman who is alleged to have used a network of intermediaries across Ireland, France, Germany, Singapore, China, Turkey, Greece, and Serbia to acquire high-performance microchips for Russian military applications. The chips were primarily sourced from French microchip manufacturer Amic, which was reliant on sales to Russia to stay afloat. The company's Director General, Mark Rockey, is awaiting trial in France, having been indicted in March on charges of sending secrets to a foreign power and exporting dual-use goods to Russia. The fraught politics of the office whip round. Financial Times. The traditional office whip round, in which colleagues would contribute money for a gift, has been transformed by online platforms such as Collection Pot, Gift Round, and Thankbox. These platforms have become popular since remote working began during the pandemic. The platforms make it easier to collect money and often result in larger amounts being raised. However, the increased visibility of the process can lead to jealousy and resentment among colleagues. Despite this, the practice is here to stay, and one upside is that digital whip rounds are increasingly being organized by men. Tech startups race to make EV battery recycling sustainable. Financial Times. Startups are racing to make the recycling of electric vehicle, EV, batteries cleaner and more economically viable. These efforts are supported by investors pouring billions of dollars into recycling facilities in preparation for a surge in disposed packs and for regulations mandating minimum recycled content in new EV batteries. Traditional recycling methods for lithium-ion batteries are highly energy-intensive and involve burning used batteries at temperatures over 400 C. Startups such as Hong Kong's GRST and Oregon-based Onto Technology are developing water-based technologies as alternatives to these methods. Frank Taiwan talks at Xi-Biden summit will go long way to ease ties, ex-US envoy. South China Morning Post. Former U.S. Ambassador to China Max Baucus has said that candid exchanges on Taiwan could help to avoid miscalculations when the U.S. and Chinese heads of state meet on the APEC sidelines this week. Baucus said that Chinese President Xi Jinping is expected to be very firm on the Taiwan issue when he meets U.S. counterpart Joe Biden in San Francisco on Wednesday. Baucus added that the summit would be helpful for the U.S. to better understand China's positions on different matters of contention. Alibaba, JD.com post Singles Day sales growth but withhold sales tally. South China Morning Post. Alibaba and JD.com have announced sales growth during the Singles Day shopping festival but have not disclosed exact revenue numbers, as they have done for the past decade. The companies did reveal gross merchandise value, number of orders, and participating merchants all recorded year-on-year growth. The shopping festival, initiated by Alibaba in 2009, is the world's largest online retail extravaganza. Despite the positive tone, this marks another year the two e-commerce giants have decided not to publish their exact sales numbers. Hi Mum, it's me, how scammers learn to prey on our emotions. The Independent. Online fraud is on the rise, with human-initiated fraud attacks increasing by 92% last year. Scammers have shifted their tactics from email-based fraud to instant messaging platforms like SMS and WhatsApp, where people are more likely to respond quickly and without much thought. These scammers create a sense of urgency and exploit moments of vulnerability to catch people off guard. The scams range from impersonating a family member in distress to offering job opportunities or claiming to hold a parcel for delivery. Scammers have become more emotionally sophisticated, using psychological tactics to manipulate their victims. The scams are not only increasing in frequency but also in technological sophistication. Scammers are now using artificial intelligence, AI, to mimic real voices, creating panic-inducing phone calls that trigger an immediate reaction from victims. This technology is rapidly advancing, and in the next 5 years, deepfake scams are expected to become even more accurate and difficult to detect. Scammers are also targeting specific individuals based on their needs and vulnerabilities, tailoring their scams accordingly. To protect oneself from falling victim to scams, individuals should take precautions such as establishing safe words with family members, checking the authenticity of phone calls, and reporting any suspicious messages or calls to the appropriate authorities. It is important to remain vigilant and skeptical, as scammers are constantly evolving their tactics. The impact of online fraud goes beyond financial loss, as the stolen money often funds human trafficking, drug smuggling, and other criminal activities. Rowan beats College of Worcester hoops in final seconds. Yahoo! The College of Worcester men's basketball team lost 78-77 to Rowan University on Saturday. Worcester junior transfer Ashton Price split a pair of free throws to give the Scots a 77-76 lead. However, a foul was called on Josh Wright's floater from 16 feet out with 4 seconds on the clock, and the Profs guard made both free throws to reach 20 points on the night and put Worcester in a 1-point hole. China chip design expert warns of losses due to industry overcrowding. South China Morning Post. China's chip design industry is expected to face significant losses this year due to intense competition and a rush into the sector driven by Beijing's push for greater self-sufficiency, according to Wei Xiaojun, president of Integrated Circuit (IC) Design at the China Semiconductor Industry Association. While China's IC design sector achieved 8% growth, many chip design firms are not in good shape. Wei warned that efforts to achieve greater self-sufficiency should be cautious to avoid domestic replacements of foreign products being considered low-end. He also highlighted challenges in achieving breakthroughs in high-end chips, particularly due to tightened U.S. export restrictions on semiconductor equipment and advanced AI chips. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your resident observer from the sixth dimension. Today, we have a diverse range of news to discuss, from international espionage to office dynamics, and even the latest trends in online scams. So let's dive right in. First up, we have the shadowy network smuggling European microchips into Russia. It seems like Maxim Ermakov and his team were quite the international travelers, going through Ireland, France, Germany, and even Singapore to acquire high-performance microchips for the Russian military. But hey, at least they diversified their destinations, right? Moving on, we have the fraught politics of the office whip round. You know, those times when your colleagues pool money for a gift. Well, with the rise of online platforms, things have gotten a bit more complicated. While it's easier to collect money, it also means more visibility, which can lead to jealousy and resentment. So, be careful who you give that birthday gift to. In the world of tech, startups are racing to make EV battery recycling sustainable. With the increasing popularity of electric vehicles, it's essential to find cleaner and more economically viable ways to recycle their batteries. Traditional methods are energy-intensive and involve burning the batteries at scorching temperatures. But fear not, startups like GRST and Onto Technology are developing water-based technologies as alternatives. Who knew recycling could be so refreshing? Now, let's talk about the upcoming Xi-Biden summit. Former U.S. Ambassador Max Baucus believes that candid exchanges on Taiwan could help avoid miscalculations. It seems like President Xi Jinping will be quite firm on the Taiwan issue, so this summit will be crucial in understanding China's stance on various matters. Let's hope they can find some common ground and keep the peace. In other news, Alibaba and JD.com had yet another successful Singles' Day shopping festival. While they didn't disclose the exact revenue numbers, they did reveal that there was growth in gross merchandise value, number of orders, and participating merchants. It's like a secret game of guess how much money we made. Now, let's talk about the not-so-fun topic of online scams. Scammers are getting more sophisticated, moving from emails to instant messaging platforms where they can exploit our vulnerabilities. They've even started using AI to mimic real voices, making their scams even harder to detect. So, remember to stay vigilant, establish safe words with your loved ones, and report any suspicious messages or calls. And please, don't fall for the old Nigerian prince trick anymore. Last but not least, we have some sports news. The College of Worcester men's basketball team lost a close game to Rowan University. It's always a bummer when your team loses, but hey, it's all about the spirit of the game, right? And there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour of some fascinating news stories. Remember, stay informed, stay curious, and as always, stay six-dimensional. Now, I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you make of these stories? Do you have any personal experiences with office whip rounds or online scams? Let's discuss. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6DO Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6DO team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6DO Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6DO Brief via email.